have some holiday tips for y'all, and these tips are good for any holiday and any celebratory meal that you want to cook. I'm not saying I'm an expert. All I'm saying is I've made these mistakes myself, and I don't want to see y'all making the same mistakes that I made. Purchase kitchen tools, new appliances, and propane bottles several months in advance. I realized while cooking that I needed new measuring cups and spoons and a 9x13-inch glass dish, a potato masher, and a food temp probe. I had to go to the store and buy all this stuff just to cook Thanksgiving dinner because I realized that things I thought I had walked off. They disappeared. I couldn't find them, and I had to buy replacements. Some things I never had to begin with. The lettering came off my measuring cups, and I had to buy new measuring cups. So, it's just things like that you need to prepare for several months ahead of time. Go through your equipment, go through your tools, find things that you're going to need. If you want to cook mashed taters for Thanksgiving, make sure you got a tater masher. I screwed up. I didn't check because I thought I had one. And at one time I did have one, and I don't know what happened to it. So, don't make the mistake that I made. Okay? Check your tools and equipment ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute to buy a bread machine, an extra oven, or a turkey fryer, or any other special equipment just for a holiday meal. Special equipment has a learning curve. Don't think you're going to bust out your brand new bread machine and make dinner rolls on Thanksgiving morning. My bread machine sat in storage for 7 years. The first few loaves I made with it were failures. I blew a fuse while using the bread machine, the microwave, and a space heater all at the same time. My propane oven burned the bottom of my first batch of rolls and didn't brown the tops, but it burned the marshmallows on my candied yams. It couldn't get the skin crispy on a turkey breast after 2 attempts. I spent more money than I should have remaking dishes trying to learn how to manipulate the temperature regulation on this oven. October is Fire Awareness Month. You should check your fire extinguishers or buy new ones, and check your smoke alarms or replace the batteries in them. Make sure you do this by October 15th to beat the Halloween season. Make sure there's a fully stocked first aid kit in the kitchen. I keep this one in my truck, but I can bring it out for the holidays. Check the functionality of your digital vital sign readers. This is a digital thermometer. Make sure the batteries are fresh. You want to check the batteries in your oximeter, your glucose monitor if you have one, and your portable oxygen concentrator if you need one of those. Don't go to somebody's house and then run out of oxygen or your blood sugar gets sky high, or if you've got type 1, your blood sugar gets low and you need some honey or whatnot. Y'all should know to prepare for that stuff and take care of your own health needs. But a party host or hostess should also be able to anticipate these things as well. Be prepared to deal with food allergies also. Make sure that you or someone at your party can perform CPR and the Heimlich maneuver if necessary. This is something else I keep in my truck, but I can also bring it inside for holiday parties. It's a CPR mask. I am certified for CPR, first aid, and AED. Have an infrared thermometer handy and a meat probe to check the temperature of your food. I have my food handler's permit, but even with that permit, I know that mistakes and accidents can happen in the kitchen. When you let yourself get too hungry, too desperate, too distracted, you can get careless and you can make yourself or someone else sick. Isolate one room of the house and turn off the heat in that room. Keep the temperature at 50 degrees or below for food safety. Use a portable air conditioner if necessary. Set up a table in that room with cooling racks. This room will save you refrigerator space. This room should be off limits to children and guests. If you get too hot or you're going through menopause and you're having a hot flash, you can retreat to that room and cool off. You should keep your cold room dark because light generates heat, but I've turned on the light in this room so y'all can see what I have on this table. My region of Oklahoma had an overnight low of 41 degrees, and this cold room is currently 49 degrees. For any holiday meal, you need a plan. Even if you've been cooking for 50 years, it's best to have everything written down and prepared 3 days ahead. Start planning your menu and purchase non-perishables several months in advance. Expensive spices, butter, and bacon can be kept in a freezer. Stores begin stocking frozen turkeys and frozen hams by mid-November. Buy them early and keep them in the freezer. Purchase the groceries you need to keep fresh 2 days before the meal. It's a good idea to put all these reminders on your phone. I spent $226.14 in November alone to cook a Thanksgiving meal because I wasn't prepared. I'm going to run through a Thanksgiving meal prep just as an example. 3 days before Thanksgiving. Buy disposable ware and aluminum pans. Set up all your equipment and pull out your special tools. The kitchen stove and the sink are off limits until all of the dishes from the meal have been washed and put away. The family diet should be restricted to cereal, sandwiches, and TV dinners. This is when you want a fly swatter for the kids in one hand and a rolling pin for the man in the other. I grew up in a house that had a locking door going into the kitchen. There was one problem. The bathroom was attached to the kitchen. You had to go through that door into the kitchen and hang a right to get to the bathroom, and it was the only toilet in the house. When Mom was cooking a holiday meal, we had to go to the shed out back that had a dirt floor because we didn't have an outhouse. Also on day 3, you want to start thawing your turkey and put it in the brine. If you're cooking a turkey breast, you can also begin to thaw it on day 3. 2 days before Thanksgiving, you want to cook the last things that you intend to eat. Make your punch or your cider, make your pumpkin and pecan pies, and your cranberry sauce on day 2. Sugar is a preservative, so these things will keep in a 50-degree room. This is also the day when you want to make your rustic bread and your croutons and your southern cornbread and your croutons to make your stuffing on the next day. Making bread and cornbread is going to be an all-day thing. The day before Thanksgiving is the day you want to make your dinner rolls and your stuffing/dressing because these are also all-day affairs. You can make your candied yams on this day, and you can make them with or without the marshmallows. For most people, the toasted marshmallows on the top of the yams is a real eye-pleasing thing. It's something people look forward to. So you can go ahead and make the yams and the syrup on the day before Thanksgiving and wait until right before you're ready to serve the yams to put the marshmallows on top and toast them in the oven and then serve. That'll solve that problem. You can keep all these things in the cold room until you're ready to reheat and serve them. This is also the day when you want to make your turkey rub, unless you want to make it on day 3. That'll be fine too. The morning of Thanksgiving is when you should take your turkey out of the brine, pat it dry, put the rub on it, throw it in the oven, and have it in there by 6 a.m. A full-size turkey takes between 4 to 6 hours to roast. So you want to have that turkey done by noon, and you want to calculate that accordingly. A turkey breast and stuffing takes 3 hours to cook, so you have to start prepping that turkey breast by putting it in the brine 4 hours before you intend to serve it. While the turkey is in the oven, make the mashed potatoes and the turkey gravy, unless you're making giblet gravy. You want to make your turkey gravy with the pan drippings. Then you'll have to do it after you take the turkey out of the oven while it's resting. The turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, and the gravy are the only things you have to keep in the refrigerator at 40 or below. Everything else will keep in the cold room. Take everything out of the cold room and reheat it within an hour or 30 minutes before you plan to serve. Set your food on a table and serve it family style or buffet style. Follow these tips and you should have a stress-free holiday. However, you should still prepare for mistakes because things always go wrong in the kitchen. I purchased mislabeled cranberry sauce and had to save the berries. Averting disaster in the kitchen is the real hallmark of a competent cook. Hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. Bye, y'all.